gonna stream on YouTube as well. So if the TikTok view isn't that good, just definitely go on my YouTube. You can definitely get it there. I'm just gonna bring up both the live streams on the computer. So we have both access to the TikTok and the live stream. Just going to live. There I am. I see myself. Perfect. There we go. Welcome, Batman. I like that name. Yeah, we're going to make some purchases today. That is something we will do. We will make purchases today. Why is TikTok not working? Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure it's working on my computer. There we go. All right. So we got that going. I believe the TikTok is up. I think the live stream on YouTube is working. Yeah, it says it's healthy. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so let's do the live stream. Let's break down some stuff. That's annoying. Why is that down? My fan on my computer is starting to malfunction. All right, sweet. So let's break down some levels. Let's go through it. Let me bring that up. I just want to bring up my trading on this. Perfect. All right, guys, let's get into it. The stock market really is finally starting to show some pullbacks. This is what we've been waiting for. And we are having some buying opportunities, which is awesome. Let me know if the audio is okay. Just want to make sure it's good for you guys. 29. Okay. Yeah, we're planning on making some ads today. Gonna build on the YouTube portfolio a little bit. Those in the WAP. Obviously, you guys already have an idea of what I'm gonna buy. But all right, so let's break down some stocks. Let's go over QQQ. Looking at some of these levels here, let's just look at the bigger picture here, guys. This is not a big deal. People are like getting all worried that the market's pulled back. It's really not that bad. If you look at overall with the market here, I think it's perfectly fine. This is really not a big deal. Taking a look here, the Qs, we're trading at 637 and you're starting to get this big red candle come in. Small volume right now, but we'll see. All the way from 637 down to 619. Not the end of the world. That is perfectly okay. It's acceptable. Not a big deal. All right. If we go zooming in on the closer levels to this, just gotta get to the next. There we go. Looking at the closer levels here, I do believe that we could potentially get a support on the Qs around $610. That is definitely something I'll be watching for short covering. I definitely think you want to look for pops and then look into short. But if we just get further downside, we have had support right in this range where we had resistance come at 613.18. That's the tippy top of this part. And I like to give it a little wiggle range, like at least 50 cents to a point. And then you also have right here another resistance point. So if we get a pullback on the Qs, just watch this, see what it does this morning. If we pull back another 1% down to 610, we will see if we can get this consolidation and then, oh, that sounds horrible, Jesus. And then look for that pullback, push back up on that. That's what I'd be looking for with the Qs. If we break that, then we'll see if we're gonna head towards 600. SPY is already there. SPY is already at the 675 where we did have previous support levels at $673 per share. So we're going to have to see if this is going to hold up or not. If it's not going to, then okay, no problem. Then we're going to have to look for our next support level. And looking at the grand scheme of things here, when you look at SPY, we are trading at major highs, 689, pulling back. That's what I'm looking for. So at the end of the day, I would really need a big pullback on SPY, but what does that really mean? That means that our Mag 7 guys like Meta, which is already sold off, which is definitely turning into a buying opportunity. There's a few things that I just want to review with this stock as we break it down. When you look at Meta, you did have highs at 795, then you pulled back, and then you went all the way back to almost 800, 790, and then to 760, and now we're pulling back to 627. You can see if this holds, but you better have a strict stop loss here. People will say, oh, pull back from 800, already 120 points, but nobody bats an eye when Meta goes all the way from April of 479. Nobody thinks it's weird that the stock goes up from 479 up to 800, which is a 64% return. So you kind of have to be realistic about this sometimes. A 64% return. It's okay to get some pullback here. 800 all the way down here, it's 20% pullback. I definitely think that is okay. And for those that bought in April, that bought much lower, are definitely feeling more comfortable. So make sure, let's see if the 625 level breaks. You do have some areas where you did have a little bit of resistance, but we don't know if this is really going to hold up. I mean, I'm just going based off of this. You had resistance here at 627, resistance here at 627. Now you had it here again and there. Will we get a little further downside, maybe to like 615? Maybe, but we just have to kind of watch it. I mean, if you look just on the 5-day, I'm sorry, if you go on the 1 month, RSI is down to 17. So Meta down to 17 on this RSI, which is very interesting. But it does look like we still have some selling pressure going on, and that's definitely what I'm kind of paying attention to. I want to go over the next stock, which is just, we're going to just do all of the Mag 7s first. I think it's important to hit the Mag 7s because the QQQ and the SPY, they're pretty much approaching their support levels. So looking at Apple, is trading all-time highs. I'm not trading this. I just want to show you for Apple that we are trading at the top of this channel. Anytime that Apple has been trending, like here, you can see there was a selling point around 165, up here at 235 at the top of this, and then back at 260, and then look at this 270 starting to get pullbacks. That's okay. I would expect buyers start coming in the mid-range around 240, 250. But for now, I'm just going to completely leave that alone. That's not something that I really want to pay attention to. And then looking at the next stock, I want to go over NVIDIA. I know there's that news with Burry putting the massive shorts on NVIDIA and PLTR. So maybe that's starting to spook the market a little bit. I'm kind of wondering, why he's doing this, but I didn't get a chance to speak to him. So looking here, $212 per share, pulling back, resistance here. There was not many buyers up in here. Obviously, your next level for NVIDIA that you'd have to be keeping a watchful eye is you just have to look at the previous rejection point. So if you can see in October 9th, we rejected at 195, very thin wick all the way down to 193. So not as much volume there, buyer volume. So 193 to 195 is really where I'm going to be taking a peek at NVIDIA and seeing. Just looking at this, I mean, if that's not even a far pullback from right now. If we're trading at 198, pulling back here, it's only a 2% pullback to 195, about a 2% to 194, 193. So if you're looking for pullbacks, longs, that's really what you're looking for, would be to 193 to 195, retest the level, see what the price action looks right there, make your decision there. I think I would be more comfortable if we had a nice push up, and then we go back up to this $200 range and then reject. So I'd be looking for short opportunities. There's the aggressive short, which is right at $202. And then there's the less aggressive, safer play, which would be around 207, 208. We got to see if we do get a pop though. It does seem the market is starting to pull back here. So I would be looking at that level as well. Next one, let's break down. We did NVIDIA, Apple. Let's go over Microsoft. I think Microsoft is an interesting play. Microsoft has like two basically bullhorns that rejected here. You could see right here, top of the channel, 554, 554. Microsoft has pulled back. So it is definitely something that I am keeping an eye on. I have shares down since April, like around 350 or something. I want to add to Microsoft, but I really need further pullbacks, and I know it's not happening today, so I kind of just keep them loosely watching with alerts set, but nothing crazy. I need pullbacks down to like 460 at least for me to add. So we're going to continue to watch Microsoft. Microsoft must hold this level. If it doesn't, expect further downside. If it breaks 508 today, you're definitely going lower. I definitely would be cautious watching that. All right, so the two double top rejections around 550, retesting this 510. It has proven time and time again that 510 is here to stay. So let's see if we can continue with that. But if the overall market looks weak, I definitely would be paying attention to that. That's just my 2 cents with Microsoft. Let's go over Tesla. Tesla stock is same thing, rejected again at this 475 right around here, rejected this 475. Now when it comes to Tesla, what I'm doing is I'm pretty much staying away from it for the most part. I have shares at $220 in the YouTube portfolio, but day trading it, looking for pullbacks, 420, 418. Now, I think we reviewed this again, but just in case you're new, 6% pullback, that can easily happen in Tesla. But if you go back and look at the history and you look at Tesla and then you actually bring up the 3-year chart and you go to 400, you go to October 8th of 2021, we had a rejection of 416. So looking at October 8th, 2021, we had that rejection of 416 to 415, just a general range. And where did it find support again? Take a guess, right at 416. So if you think about it, a lot of traders are looking at the past and looking at where did it have rejection, which it was 416. Once it got above 416, it confirmed a level right here, and then it's consolidating anywhere from 420 to 470. And as long as it stays in this consolidation, you pretty much have your stop set. You know that if you're going to buy Tesla as a day trade, you should be following your stop loss below this 416 range. Very obvious. And then if you're looking, you're waiting for the breakout above 475 to go long. So if you wanted to go long on this, you can try to get your positions a little lower near this 416, but just be careful. That might be continued weakness. Or if you're looking to short this, which I think is the better option, you can look for 450 rejection, or if we do get that pop back up to 460 and then push back down, which I think that a move already has happened because you can see it right up in here where this is a nice fake out. You had a previous rejection at 467. It tried again here at 474, nice little fake out, and now it's pushing lower. So we'll see what the overall market sentiment of what is happening with that. Next, I want to go over UNH. This is a stock that I definitely am watching today. UNH stock, as you guys know, if you follow this YouTube channel at all, or you're a YouTube member or a member of the WAP, you know that I really like UNH stock. That is a stock that I continuously, I should say day trade, but I should really, now I'm investing in longer term as well. And that 327 level really has held up. So we're going to see if we get further downside. I hope we see 315. It's funny when you own shares of something, you want to see it come down so you can scoop up more shares because you'd love to take a bigger position. But 380 down to 330 is a big pullback. If we do break below 327, look for the rejection at 327 to 328 for a further move lower. I think that you really should be looking at that 315 to cover your short. And the reason I say that is because right here, at this level right here, 314.42, we had rejection. And what happened after it reclaimed this level? It got above 314, then consolidated, and then started pushing higher. So that's really where I'd be looking when it comes to UNH. It did have the previous resistance levels around this 325 to 327 range. And now that it is starting to pull back, we're going to have to see, is it going to hold this $330 level? But I would say strict, see if you break this level today. Do we break 327? Do we have continued downside on this? That's something that we're going to have to just kind of wait and see. fix that. All right, so then Oracle stock is another stock that I've been mentioning on my Twitter page. This is something that I'm very interested in as well. Oracle stock really has pulled back. And I remember when we had earnings, I was calling this out thinking this is kind of BS that it literally went, I think it was up 30 to 40%. After earnings, 243 up here, 42% move up to 345. And I was thinking just like at the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense, this move. And I remember making a video on this or a live stream saying this gap is going to get filled. Like this gap, it doesn't make sense. Like anytime that you have earnings or a big move and you have this huge gap, this is for newer traders, over time, most of the time, at least in my experience trading, it has filled the gap. The gap is being filled as we speak. Look, so here's the gap right here. Now we're pulling back to 250, 248. I'm highly considering buying some Oracle today. I'm just trying to, I don't want to pinpoint the exact entry, but I'm just starting to think, okay, Oracle has made a huge bet on AI. That's the only thing I don't like about it, is if AI does not produce the revenues that they expect, I think the stock is going to crater more. But I think that's something of a longer term issue because I know they took on some debt. But I do like that they do have a little bit of, at least from what I see, a little support around 230. But I'm actually starting to become more comfortable thinking I'm going to start purchasing some shares potentially here at this 248, 250 range. I want to see this is psychological whole dollar level. Yeah, it broke through 250. It's starting to reject down. Green volume starting to come in. I don't think if I buy Oracle today, I'm going to be catching the low. It's not something that I'm trying to buy the exact low. It's just something that I think, okay, do I believe in Oracle long term? Do I think that they're going to appreciate over time? That's really what I'm asking myself. So I'm trying to be patient. And I'm going to let it play out a little longer. Looking at the 1 year chart, just looking at it as a when you're buying long term, it's different. You're trying to really get a cheaper deal. The better it's on sale, the better it is. The year to date, 35 in the RSI, which, you know, take it as it goes. I mean, you can use RSI. I use price action to day trade and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a big pullback. I mean, it's a very big pullback. It's kind of like Meta, you know, when you think about it. We just went from 345 all the way down to 248. That's a 28% pullback. And we'll see. We're going to feel it out. Let's see how it does. I just want to jump to a little bit of Ethereum and XRP and all that real quick. I've been, if you guys are a member of my WAP, you'll see I've been dollar cost averaging a little bit in these guys. And I definitely want to make a bigger purchase in some of these guys, just a little bit more money in them. I like that XRP is trading near this $2 range. To me, that's very attractive. I do see a lot of support levels here, and I know crypto is so volatile, but XRP is something that I personally am okay with if I'm holding long term around that $2 range. I have them in my Gemini crypto portfolio that you guys can see as well. Bitcoin, that was a big day yesterday, guys. We broke 100,000. We went down to 98. So that was pretty cool to see. I was definitely happy that we could see finally, we draw out these trend lines and we're like, okay, when is Bitcoin ever going to re-break and retest this 100 grand? Well, so it just did. So now with this breaking, I'm starting to wonder, are we going to have some more downside? Everything's been hunky-dory with this bull market. And obviously, like, you know, I'm the same way. I mean, I have shares long term. I'm not complaining when it continues to ride up. But now we're starting to pull back. Can we get pullbacks to, like, I would love 72,000. I know that's a massive drop in Bitcoin, I know. Next, Solana is something that I am going to potentially be adding to the crypto Gemini portfolio long term. Just waiting for a little further pullbacks. Solana really just, when it wants to pull back, it really just pulls back. It's incredible. I mean, it went from, you're just going to last 3 months, you can see 253 all the way down to 150. I mean, the swings in crypto are just incredible. It's starting to make me rethink trading stocks and just start going to crypto at this point, because the fact that it moves so much, 41% pullback, I mean, it's incredible. You have Ethereum. I have been buying the dip on these guys, anything near 3,000 in my opinion. I mean, look, I'm holding long term, so for me, it doesn't matter. Good morning, citizens of peace. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. But for me, it's like, at the end of the day, I like Ethereum. I'm going to hold it long term. And in the last 5 years, it's really just been consolidated in this 5-year span. So for me, I'm going to continue dollar cost averaging in those. Let's go back to some stocks. Let's go over Dutch Bros. We got earnings very shortly. Earnings is something that I think is very interesting. You have support lining in at that $53. There's one marked off spot there. We called this out a month ago on the WAP where a bunch of people took positions and a bunch of people are up, which is awesome. So I'm happy to see that. And they pretty much purchased the bottom here around $47, $48. A little scary at first because it just kept trickling down. But, you know, with a little group analysis with the WAP, we all kind of figured out that $47 had support here in April. And it also had a little bit of support around this range here around November of last year. So what is it going to do now? We have earnings coming up, so you're going to have to let that play out. But just be aware of your levels when it comes to Bros. Just be aware that you obviously have resistance around $56. So let's just see what it does. I would definitely be cautious. You have earnings coming up. So let's just take it as it goes. Yeah, Bros, I definitely think the call options is good. I think you just need to be aware that the premiums can be higher before earnings. So just be aware of that. Sometimes that can happen. But overall, if we can get above this $56, even before earnings, we can start to push up higher, consolidate, and then push higher. But I can tell you just from experience, at least my experience of trading, when earnings comes, sometimes they don't really care about the support and resistance levels unless it's a really big range. So just be cautious looking at that, okay? All right, so we did Bros. Somebody mentioned, I forgot which member, one of the members mentioned LEAS. So I just wanted to mention that we are really testing the support level. I'm not sure if this was Omar or not, but LES is something that I wanted to do a little more research on. Yeah, oh, Citizen Beast, thanks, man. So I look at it and I just be aware that if we cannot hold this, we need to reclaim this level. We need to reclaim back above $6 per share. You clearly have rejections coming at the $7 range. This is a company that I got to talk to Jay Young about because I want to look more into this. Is this something that we should be holding long term? It was very interesting when I was actually, did like a quick brief look at it, but I haven't done enough research on it. It is something that is interesting to me to play, and I do like this technical setup that we're getting. But I'm not going to say it's a buy or anything, but I like when you start holding these levels. If we can reclaim $6, I will be interested in this stock. So something to just look in that. All right. Next, Adobe stock, guys. I've been making so many videos about this damn stock, and we're just waiting for it to die. Like, just let it bleed, baby. Let it bleed. If it can break $327 per share, this is what I'm going to be looking forward to. There's two ways to play this. If it breaks 327, look for the short, go lower. That's fine. Because what we're looking for, if 327 breaks, I do not see how we don't retest 300 on this. Oh yeah, LES, so then right there, I mean, just as long as it holds $6, I'm liking that move. Moving on to Adobe, I think what we need to do is if 327 breaks, we're going to definitely get a move back down to at least 300 retest. That's a 10% pullback at these levels. That is something that I am looking forward to. I would love to see that happen right there. And let's move on to, we did them. CrowdStrike is just a little too expensive for me trading at 530. I don't really think it's really worth mentioning. If you wanna like trade it, you can look for bounces on the 510, 511. This is where you have previous support at there at 510 and 513. But for me, I'm just gonna stay away from them. Bull stock, guys, put this on your radar. If we get a CEO change, we get something happening here. Just for you guys know, this is Webull stock. This is exactly what I'm using to do my charting here. It pumped to $79.56. If this does pull back any further, I mean, the bottom of this is $9.54. You can see it right here. If we keep pulling back here, we are, look at this. It actually did bounce. I didn't realize that. It went to $9.55. So it already retested the low. It's starting to get a little bit of a bounce. I would understand why people are buying this. They are looking at this as a multi-year low, looking at where this IPO'd at $9.54. This just needs a little bit of a catalyst, and this is an easy risk reward where you can cover your ass pretty much. Looking here at 970, if we go below this 9.55 and start making lower lows, okay, we can cover that. Definitely something to keep an eye on. That's what I would be doing. All right, so watch Webull. Do they have earnings coming up soon? That's the only thing I'm not 100% sure about. Let's see here. Amazon stock, guys. Amazon did excellent on their earnings. They are impressive, obviously. There's the reason why they're a bazillion-dollar company. And they up 15% on their earnings. They pulled back to $250 per share. What do we see here, guys? Here's your gap fill. 243, basically to this range, 230. I do want to see, are we going to retest support around $235 per share? It is very interesting to me watching Amazon stock. It has just been slowly, this is one of those stocks that I actually don't think is going to pull back as much. Had very strong earnings. And it is kind of controlled selling at this point for Amazon stock. So very interesting seeing first level of retest. You have this whole gap you got to fill, but $245 that we're going to be looking for. Yeah, I saw that purchase you made. I like that it was nice, small, contained number, nothing too risky. Just get your feet wet. It's something you can watch the stock. Sometimes I do like doing that as well. Looking at Netflix, we have that 10-to-1 split coming. I'm not sure when exactly the date is, but just be aware that this $1,000 per share will eventually be $100 to $110 per share. And now I just want to see where this stock is going. Where this stock, DKNG, DraftKings. DraftKings is something that's on my radar. I was trading this in 2022 when it was trading around $17 per share, around this range. And I remember Bag holding this down to like $12 and then selling back up at like $25. DraftKings is something that's on my radar as well. I got to look at the financials of these guys. I think online betting is just taken over all of sports betting. Every NFL, hockey, baseball, basketball. They're very aggressive. They spent a lot of money to get their product out there. They are really teetering at the $128 level here. If we do break lower, you can look for shorts retesting these support zones. So it will be interesting to see how they play out, which is something that I will be watching. All right, if there's any stocks you guys want me to bring up, let me know. I'm just taking a quick look. Oh, BM&R. I haven't been buying BM&R. I personally, I've been telling everybody in my WAP, I think this is going lower. That's just my opinion. But I feel like if I'm going to buy something and this is going to directly follow cryptocurrency, I'm going to just sell. I'm going to buy Ethereum. I'm going to buy XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, all that instead of buying BM&R. And why am I saying that? It's not because I don't like BM&R, but let's just be realistic here. In May of 2025, which is this year, it was $3 per share. So when I see a stock like this, I just feel like this can easily get pumped and then dumped. And that's kind of like what's happening. It got pumped to 161 and everything's all great in a bull market. And it swings from $30 to $70, but I've seen this story too many times. I think BM&R is going back down to $20 per share. Now, if you're interested in BM&R, that doesn't mean you shouldn't trade it. I mean, don't listen to some guy on YouTube. I'm just giving you my thoughts on it. It's just how I feel, and I think I'd rather hold the coins of like Ethereum and Bitcoin and all that. I'd rather hold them than buy BM&R, and that's just my opinion. ACHR is interesting. They are finally pulling back. I used to trade this stock. This is 2021, 2022. They used to be called ACIC, and then they converted to ACHR. And I used to trade them as an IPO. I don't even know if they still have them, if they show it like this. Yeah, I mean, I guess they do show it like this, where it was $10. This is when they were ACIC, and then they popped up to $18, and then they had a scary trade all the way down to 162. I'm glad I didn't have shares there. And then we are starting to make lower lows. Now, a company like this has to prove to you that they can actually make revenue. So from what I understand, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think ACHR, this aviation company, has revenue? I don't believe they do. So if you're looking at them, you are trading on this. As long as you can maintain this $9.50, okay, no problem. We're still interested because it's on that uptrend. But then if it doesn't, we're looking at moves lower to $8.50. BBAI stock, another stock I'm watching. I like these guys. They're starting to get some brand recognition. What their real problem is they need to increase revenue. If BBAI has an earnings report that they show that they are starting to expand, whether it's like cybersecurity with the airports or they're able to increase their revenue, this stock is going to go much higher. But right now, it has this wall around $9 per share. It's pretty much what's been happening with it. So it's kind of how it goes. Let me just check the TikTok live stream. I see everything. What do you think of Grab? How do you think the market will react today? Well, I mean, I'm not sure how the market's going to react. It's been weak the last couple of days. I think you just kind of have to go with the flow. Let's see what it does. And if it pulls back, it's a lot of orders in the books. And I think at the end of the day, if the market is starting to shift and we are getting this pullback, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not overly leveraged, I think it's okay. I just want to go over Chipotle stock as well. I got to position these guys on Robinhood. We're down like 2 points already on them. And that's okay. We're continuing to build a position. I just feel like I use the product. I like them. It's one of those Warren Buffett buys where you think, I use this product. I like it. And I didn't want to buy it at $70 per share, but I was a buyer around $33, $34. It's down 51%. This is something that I am interested in. Now, it doesn't mean you got to, over leverage yourself or whatever it is. But let's just be realistic about this stock. If Chipotle cannot hold $30 per share, we are going to see $25 per share. That is something that I am aware of and I am prepared to add if I have to. It's a risk that I'm willing to take. We have some gains on the year. You guys have seen it. If we pull back to $25, $26 per share, I will double my position, and then I'm just going to hold long term. So I have a nice starter position in Chipotle, something I'm interested in. And if you look at their earnings, yes, they blame it on the economy. They blame it on people that make under $100,000 a year, can't afford a $12 burrito. I don't know. When me and my wife go there, we probably spend about $25 for two people. For me, I mean, I know that's a lot for some people, but for me, that's fine. I mean, if I went out to a restaurant and took her out and paid, I'd be spending $120 to $150. So for me, a quick meal for $25, I don't think they're going out of business anytime soon. It's crazy when you read the forums about Chipotle. It's like people think like this stock is literally going out of business. I just don't believe that. They said they're opening 300 to 400 stores, and now they're trying to go international. So that's something that I am interested in. I have some shares. I think I'm down already. Like we bought at $34 or $33. Let me bring it up. Let me go to my Robinhood account. Let's see what we're down. Just give me 1 sec, guys. Just want to log on the Robinhood and take a look at it and see what we're down. Which is okay. I mean, I'm like completely fine with it. It's not a big deal. I'm not losing any sleep over this position. Let's see here. Let me just bring it up. But it's definitely something that I am interested in holding. And sometimes it doesn't look so hot when you're holding it for, I mean, it's only been like a week, but if you're holding it for like a month or so, whatever it is, it starts to look a little questionable. Let me see here. Yeah, I got an average cost. Bring it up so you guys can see. I don't think anything's showing here. So I got an average cost on Chipotle at $34.27. You could see that. And then portfolio diversity in Robinhood, 100% burritos right now. 139 shares. As you guys know, I day trade on Fidelity, so this is like my burner account, as you could pretty much put it. And if you see here, we are down $336. We're down 7% on the burritos right now. But all good, no big deal. But just letting you guys know, I like to be transparent, showing you guys my trades. I think that's kind of nice. Yeah, so we'll give it some time. We'll see what it does. Guys, stocks I'm watching at the open. I'm watching UNH. I want to see what UNH is going to start doing. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of degenerate gambling. I'm looking at the TikTok responses here. There's definitely a lot of risk taking when it comes to earnings. You just got to be careful. I mean, some of these guys are really, they're like, the premiums are so high sometimes for trading options, especially during earnings. So that's where I get a little cautious and I try not to. But options, that's another story. You got to join the WAP for that. There's plenty of people that do options on there, and it's good just to see like what perspective they're doing. I will just do shares personally, but it's really up to them what they're gonna do. Everybody makes their own decisions on the WAP, which is cool. So I like just allowing that to be there. And if they want to join or whatever, you know, they can just make their own decisions on it. But it's a good place for everybody to kind of go over and talk about what they want to invest in, etc. Let's put that in there. So what are you guys trading today? What is your goals? Let me hear it. Is it just P&L goal? Is it you're trying to get better at trading? You're trying to learn the trading? This is APA. This is somebody on TikTok. I don't really know what this is, but it's in a nice uptrend. 5 years ago, it was trading. Wow, Jesus, this thing. Let's go to max on this. It used to trade $130 down to what happened to the stock? APA down to $3 now 22. Interesting. APA stock. I don't know anything about this stock. It's clear as day though. You have resistance at $25 per share. You can see this just looking right here. You have resistance in this zone. So just be aware if you're APA, you're shorting APA until it gets above $25. I mean, you have resistance here, support here, resistance here. Just technicals. Resistance here, resistance here, resistance there. If you get another push up here, it would be interesting to see. But it is trading on this trend line right now. So it's either it's going to reject here on APA, come up 24, 25, and then push lower, or that move has already happened and it's going there. So very interesting to see. Definitely look into that. And then you have BA, Boeing. Every time that there is a bad news with an airline or an airplane, a 747, this thing just dies. Something that's very interesting. So yeah, it's got to hold that level. So we'll see what it does. Just going over some stuff. But yeah, that's the recap review, guys, for the levels. We'll leave this up for a little bit. Where's Jay Young at? Jay Young is MIA. Discord. Let's see if we can get him on the Discord. Yeah, and even some of my positions now in the YouTube portfolio have been going down, like Microsoft and Nike. I'm sorry, Nike and Starbucks have been lagging. Thought about selling Nike and I decided not to. I said I'm just going to hold, collect the divvy for now. Just let that be. That's okay. No big deal. So we'll continue to do that. But that was definitely something I was like, oh, all right. I guess maybe that would have been a nice sell and then I could put it into something else. But for now, that's okay. No big deal. But all right, guys, I'm going to end the live stream. I'll be back on the live stream soon. I just want to take a quick break and then we'll get back to you guys, all right? But I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel and then we'll go back on it. Yeah, UPS plane crashed into Boeing. Oh, did UPS go lower? UPS had a nice bounce and starting to reject a little bit. I'll be back on soon. Thanks so much, guys.